What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here for another episode of my show. Yeah, so I'm here, and there's so many things to talk about. Someone earlier was all like, "Just start the show now, Luca." A couple hours ago, I think it was. So it started with a D. I can't remember though, but shout out to you. The show was started now, so hopefully you enjoy it. Was it Dread? Maybe I'm not sure, but shout out to you. I saw your message. But yeah, so hello, Jason, Meat Puppet, Adam. Cool ending is beginning. Arcade, what's up, everybody? What's up, guys? Let's see here. Okay, all right, we're good. Okay, so Zinger. Oh wait, I don't even know if he's here.
Yes, Luca.
Oh, you are here. Okay. Woo, your mic. What's? Oh, you got the fan on because of the heat.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me solve it.
No, you're good, man. That's fine. Keep it on. I hear it's
Sound like
pretty
he's
bad
hanging
over
off the side of a train or something.
Yeah, it's pretty bad over there in terms of the heat. Like their buildings are not built for the heat that they're getting, and they don't really have like AC like that. So I'll get mad if you need to keep it on.
Kind of sounds like Texas when it gets really cold in Texas. Their homes aren't built
just not built for it, man.
They ain't built for that, nah.
Yeah. All right, what's up, Hurricane Mike? What's up, Erodimus Pills? What's goody, my boys? How y'all doing today? It is another wonderful Saturday with the crew. There's a lot of topics. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of things to discuss, and I am very much looking forward to it. What do you guys want to start with? You want to talk about the Xbox showcase real quick? Just get our thoughts out about that. I want to get your thoughts about it, guys. Like, I know we've all been talking about these discussions like all week and stuff, but yeah, or do you want to talk about the Starfield at 30 FPS and the subsequent reaction from everybody? Like, what do y'all want to talk about, man?
Let's go in order. I mean, the showcase game first, then the Starfield Direct. Let's do it like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Chad.
Does that sound better, Luca?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah. Are you good though? Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, no. I just put noise cancelling on, so you shouldn't be able to hear it.
Okay, sweet. What's up, Jay Swolls, True Virgil,
But I am dying, yes.
Brisky. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I really am. Okay, so Xbox Showcase, let's get our thoughts out real quick. Me personally, I really enjoyed the showcase. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Some people, they were like, how can you enjoy it so much when they didn't show any gameplay? I mean, technically they did show gameplay. They just didn't show gameplay for fucking Hellblade or Fable. Like they showed like 0.3 seconds of gameplay for Fable. Okay, so they did show gameplay for Fable and they did show gameplay for Hellblade.
Maybe.
But when we say gameplay, we're talking about combat gameplay. This is the first time we've ever had to like explain expand on that, because most gamers know that if you ask like where's the gameplay, we're talking about the combat gameplay 9 times out of 10. But some people want to act deliberately obtuse. They want to act like they're too stupid to understand what's being said. So I am elaborating there. We did see gameplay though. We saw gameplay for multiple titles. So it's not like there was no gameplay. It's just like where is the gameplay for certain first party titles? You know what I'm saying? So, and then also that freaking the new Compulsion's new game. Where was that gameplay? You know what I'm saying? Like, where was that? But then we saw gameplay for Fallout 76. We saw gameplay for ESO. We saw gameplay for Avowed. We saw gameplay for Sea of Thieves. We saw first party gameplay. It's just, you guys know, what we were saying. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I docked it because of the lack of certain first-party gameplay. But I gave it a higher score based on the presentation. It was game after game after game. I can tell that Xbox listens to us, us as in they listen to the bigger content creators when it comes to the issues that they may have when it comes to certain things. In the showcase, they've been steadily improving each showcase. It was a good showcase. The talking was minimal, which is like the biggest thing for me. It was just game after game after game after game. I enjoyed that we saw a good mix of first party and third party. So that's why I also gave it a bigger score, or higher score, that is. I'm deliberately obtuse, man, because some people were like, you docked Sony. You docked Sony in the PlayStation Showcase because they had third party? I'm like, no, actually, I didn't. I was like, where was your first party yet? And I was like, they were missing their first party. The first party was not as prevalent. There was a better mix at the Xbox. I'm just telling, deliberately obtuse. I know y'all are not fucking stupid. I know that you guys are not stupid. So why are you pretending to be dumb for your console war stuff, man? Why? Anyway,
Imagine
so
pretending to be dumb in order to try to score points for a platform.
it just doesn't make any sense, you know?
Ridiculous,
So
yeah.
okay, so anyway, whatever. So I gave it a higher score for that. And then, again, it was the presentation as well. I had a good time with it. And then also, I'm not trying to see those smaller kitty ass fucking indie games, respectfully. We saw them, but it wasn't as like abundant. I'm telling you, that PlayStation show, that joint was like an Xbox showcase normally. And this Xbox showcase, I don't know what it was, man, but it was definitely the best Xbox show. And then another thing, y'all can't fucking read, not y'all, but some of these dudes on Twitter cannot fucking read. Okay? I said this is the best Xbox showcase. Xbox showcase, which means it is the best showcase for Xbox that they've had in years. And these dumb motherfuckers were like, are you saying that this is the best showcase ever for anybody? And I'm just like, no, you stupid motherfucker. Like, I should have put, like, I put, okay, Xbox is taking it. This is their best showcase. They're referring to Xbox because Xbox is the fucking subject of the goddamn sentence. Again, and so I asked multiple people, I'm like, so what was a better showcase for Xbox? And they were like, oh, it's I mean, back in the you know, the 360 days. I'm like, oh, so literal years. Like, I'm telling y'all, y'all be pissing me the fuck off. I swear to God. But anyway, not y'all, people on Twitter. So anyway, that I mean, okay, go ahead. Okay. All right. Anyway, you guys go ahead. Like, go ahead. All right. Go. Like, okay. Which one of you wants to go first?
Mine will probably be longer because I want to give a detailed thing of the showcase. So is slow mo shorter?
Probably. So I'll go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I dealt with the same thing. I dealt with people. I said this was the at the time when it came out before. This is before the Ubisoft for it came out, which I thought was a better showcase. But at the time, I said this is the best showcase we've seen this year, and people was like, "What? It's not the best showcase in years." I was like, "This year." I said this year. You can't read. Like a lot of these people can't read, and then what they also can't do is they can't admit they were wrong, so they double down stupid. So it's just a lot of dumb people on Twitter, unfortunately, that anytime you say anything, they misconstrue it as something different, and then try to create this scarecrow argument, you know, of you're talking about this, and I'm like, I've never said that at all. You have issues, you know. So it's all that said, I thought it was a good showcase. I gave it 8 out of 10. They showed a lot of first party games, which I was appreciative of. So I have a better understanding of their roadmap going forward than I do of like their competitors, which is good. I did wish there were more gameplay. I kind of feel like if you reveal Fable in 2020, then by 2023, I should be seeing more than what I'm seeing. Now, you know, that, of course, like seeing something that is in-game content, which is running on Forza Tech game engine on the console. That's look, that's going to tell me what this game is going to look like. That's fine, right? But when I say I want to see combat, when I say I want to see gameplay, I'm talking about somebody actually playing the game. I'm not talking about, well, if you look at this like at frame 28, okay, 32 seconds into the shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about the fucking gameplay. Where I'm talking about game fucking play. I want to see what it looks like when I play the game and I'm running, skipping through the fucking forest, and some damn goblins come out and I beat their ass. That's what I'm fucking talking about. When people act like they don't know what you mean, like it makes me want to literally strangle somebody. It's just like what are you here for? Like, what is your goal? To pretend like you don't know what the hell gameplay is? Do you play games? Matter of fact, they don't play games. Because everyone who came at me with that kind of stupid ass argument, I don't never seen them play a game. We never heard of them talk about games they play. So you know what? It makes perfect sense that these dumbasses don't know what gameplay is because they don't play any fucking games. Fucking frauds. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I mean, all that out of the way. I like the Atlas presence there. You know, that really kind of shores up the whole narrative that Xbox can't get JRPGs. Where they had 3 revealed on the show right then and there. All 3 of them look fire. I'm getting all 3 of
At
them.
Fantasio.
Well, I mean, I'm getting them on
Lames.
PC, but like, it's good to know that they are going to be there, right? On Xbox. That's great. That's great. It was a really
And
good show. So.
PlayStation and PC. The Switch too, or
The Switch. I think this. I'll look. I don't know if the Switch is getting all of them. I feel like they should though, because except for the Fantasio one, I don't know if that can run on the Switch. But the other
okay,
Persona
thanks, Rodman.
one and Persona Reload, I can't see why those wouldn't run on the Switch. But I'll double check.
Okay, real quick. Shout out to Meat Puppet for re-upping as a member. Has been a member 28 months. Appreciate you, my boy. Thank you so much for this. Okay. What's up, my brother from another mother?
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, hopefully it's an extended weekend for some of y'all. It is for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for Juneteenth, right?
Oh yeah, loving it.
Yes.
What's up, Puerto Rock?
What's up? We need more holidays. Just make up, like, have a federal holiday for gaming, something. More holidays is always a good thing.
Exactly. All right. Ooh, what's up, y'all? So, okay, Puerto Rock, what was your score for the Xbox showcase?
So I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Let's just get the cat out of the bag. It was better than the PlayStation showcase, like a lot. I think at this point I look at the PlayStation showcase as a 3. But I think it was a good showcase. I do agree with you. It has been the better showcase overall in the last couple of years. But the reason why I gave it a 6, because I really wanted one simple thing. Well, really a couple of things, but one simple thing I just really wanted, and it wasn't like a big ass, was I wanted to see Hellblade gameplay and a release window, like spring 2024 or winter 20, like something, not just a generalized 2024, because I could have guessed that myself, right? Mm-hmm. And then actual like actual someone playing the game now at this point for Hellblade, because we've seen multiple trailers of, you know, acting performances and stuff, you know, something similar to what, you know, Insomniac did with Spider-Man when, you know, with the PlayStation showcase. At this point, now you're seeing the game being played. That's really the only thing left for me. So for that, that really knocked down a whole lot of points, because like to me, it just felt like Groundhog Day with Hellblade.
Yeah, I'm at the point now.
Like, I'm just tired. Like, for this, don't even talk about it no more. Just release it, and that's it now. If you're gonna keep doing this, so that really was a bummer for me. But the other stuff like Clockwork Revolution, that caught my eye. I like that. That was a good surprise. In fact, I might bump it up a 7 just for that, to be honest. The Clockwork Revolution, it has that BioShock feel.
Yeah.
And it was a new IP, you know, new game, a new surprise. That really, I like that. Also like the Vow, the aesthetic change. I get some of the complaints is no longer that realistic Skyrim look, but that's fine. You know, I think that's looked pretty good. And then the Starfield Direct, I'm looking forward to Starfield. Well, then again, I like Bethesda games. But the reason why it's not like an 8 or 9 like some other people doing it is because a lot of the content, I think Microsoft's playing catch up. It's like it's showing the stuff that should have been released already, but I understand they're trying to develop. It's taking them a while. You know, it's almost like they're starting over. But it feels like, that's why I complain it. It feels like if I were to compare to Marvel movies, it still feels like they're trying to finish off phase 1 of their plan. Like we're still in phase 1 of Xbox, and we haven't moved on to phase 2, even though it's 2023, moving into 2024. You know what I mean? Like we're still we're still trying to finish what Microsoft said back in 2020, and we're still not there yet. You know, and now 2024 is going to be the conclusion of what they promised in 2020, or the things they advertised. So that's what it is. So that's all. It's a lot of catching up and stuff like that. But a few surprises. That Clockwork Revolution was a good surprise.
You getting any
about
of the Atlas games or?
the what? Oh, the Alice games.
Mhm.
For play. So really the only Persona game I played was Persona 5, and I loved it. The thing is, it's long. It's just long. It's a lot. So I'm like, man, I don't know if I could play another Persona game if it's this in depth. It's like it's a lot. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's fair. I mean, to be
God.
fair, like I exhausted myself. I beat Persona 5 like twice, and then I went through it a second time, and I got up to oh lord, the third palace, and then I was like, okay, and then I was like I was exhausted from single player games at that point, and I went back to Destiny, and then I was trapped there for years. So, all
Yeah.
right, but yeah, I hear you on that one.
Yeah. So that's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the exhaustion because, like, looking over the last couple of months, Hogwarts is long, and I haven't beat, right.
I haven't
Then,
beat that
then,
either.
then I,
Yeah.
yeah, I went to Forspoken. I had to put a pause, play Forspoken. Now I'm gonna go back and play Horizon Burning Shores, and Final Fantasy is coming, in a couple of days. It's like back to back these overextended long ass games, and I'm like, man, this is like, I need something short, like, oh man. So with Avowed coming out, Starfield is usually that's going to be a long game. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play Persona. And then Final Fantasy Rebirth next year. I don't know if I'm going to fit any Persona games. I just don't. I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Singer, your thoughts on the Xbox showcases?
All right.
Oh, real
Here
quick though,
comes.
actually, shout out to Sir X-Man who's been a member for 30 months, so thank you for that. Saying hello to the magnificent Luca, too smart for YouTube. Thank you. What's up, man? All right, go ahead, Singer.
All right. So I gave that a 9 out of 10 because they showed me the 4 RPGs. They showed me the holy quadrilogy, I guess, because it's not Trinity. Either way. So they start off with Fable, looking crispy clean. Now it's in-game footage, and I'm like, yo, this shit looks fly. I don't mind about the teaser as long as I know it's looking good. I could kind of trust Playground to know what they're doing, so that's not really a biggie for me. So that was huge. That's starting. South of Midnight from Compulsion Games was nice because one of the questions before this showcase was, what are these studios been doing when they were acquired back in 2018? So we had State of Decay, Ninja Theory, Compulsion, etc. Well, now we know what they've been working on, and you could clearly tell they're working on something interesting. Now, from the extra tidbits they gave out after the show, personally, it's not going to be for me because it's not the genre of game I like to play. But it's looking good, and I dig the vibe. Star Wars Outlaws was like, okay, cool, but that was, it is what it is. I have to wait and see because it's a Ubisoft game. Then 33 Immortals, fun game. Looks like it'll be a bunch of fun. Good luck trying to get 33 people though. Then we have Payday 3. Don't really care. Nice it came to Game Pass. Whatever. But then we had the boys at Atlas enforcing the RPG narrative with Persona 3 Reload looking fantastic. Then we had Avowed. Now, I got into an argument with Avowed because people said it was too colourful. Now, if you know the world of Eorzea, bear in mind all that was set in just the starting point from what I can gather, because the Living Lands, which is the place where it's set in, if you go there in Pillars of Eternity, the biome is random. Some parts of it look light, some parts of it look dark. It changes from valley to valley. Like as you're going through, it is crazy. And she also said in the extended showcase that we'll be going to familiar zones. What you have to understand is this game is a depressing, dark game. So a little bit of color in the game is appreciated because you don't really come across something a bit more colorful. And I'm really happy. It's never Obsidian have never made graphical showpieces. They never have. all their games have been good, but what people play Obsidian games for is the story, the quests. They are masters at writing stories. So I know that story is going to be fire. The side quests and NPCs are going to be fire. So that is what I'll be playing the game for. So that was a huge tick in my book. Then we had Sea of Thieves, don't care. Nice though. Flight Simulator, again, don't care, but nice they're bringing out a whole brand new game with the June crossover. Hellblade 2 looks pretty. No gameplay, which is kind of strange at this point, but whatever. I mean, I ain't going to play the game anyway, so cool. Then we had the Butt Naked Ichiban in America for whatever reason for the next installment of Yakuza. Really, really hyped because I love the Yakuza series. 76, again, don't care. But that Capcom game that everyone thought was Onimusha. But it turns out it's not Onimusha. It's Path of the Goddess, which had combat which reminded me of Demon Slayer. When he swung the sword around and you had the colourful wave thing after it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it gave me reminiscent of that. It's nice it's in Game Pass as well. Brand new game from Capcom. So that was a big surprise. Then Forza Motorsport looking beautiful as always. Always a big tick in my book. Then Elder Scrolls Online, cool. I haven't played it in ages. But good for those. Overwatch 2, don't care, dead. Then we had Persona 5 Tactica, which I am really excited about, a tactics Persona game, because the little chibi versions of Joker and Anne is hilarious. And the fact that Mona still looks like Mona. It's like nothing changed, which is crazy, but that was a good shout out. Day one on Game Pass as well. And then we had the indie games, which are interesting because the climbing game didn't, whatever. Still Wakes the Deep, whatever. But the Dungeons at Hinterberg, cel-shaded like dungeon game, that looks like it's got promise. Cyberpunk, of course, we knew it was going to be there, and crispy clean day one, that's being played. Then we had City Skylines, looking a big step up. Fantastic game. And then we had Atlas for the third time with their brand new RPG, which I am all for. Give it to me. Towerborn, which looks interesting, but not for me. And then The Boys Are in Exile. When I tell you, I was excited to see what these guys could do with the budget. Look at their previous games, then look at this game. When they said they were going AAA and they were going to use Unreal Engine 5, they weren't lying. And you could clearly see they took inspiration from Bioshock Infinite, which is fun. We need more steampunk games. Are fantastic. I'll take them every day. And you know the story is going to be fire. And they even confirmed on Twitter it's going to be a hardcore RPG, as they normally do. So it's going to be a fantastic time. And then obviously Starfield was a day one. You didn't even need to show me the direct. I watched anyway. So overall, 9 out of 10. As an RPG fan, you cannot be mad. Like, there is so much love given to the genre. It's only unfortunate that it's only really coming in spades from one set place, especially for the Western RPG. It's really unfortunate, but hopefully more people get on board the bandwagon and more people can make these games.
Nice. Okay, cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed the showcase so much. That's awesome, dude. All right, well, speaking of Starfield, okay, so Starfield's at 30 frames per second, y'all, which I think a lot of us were expecting. 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series S and X, 1440p 30 FPS on the Series S, 4K 30 FPS on the Series X. Todd Howard did a nice little interview with Ryan McCaffrey. Is that his name? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, with
Yeah.
Ryan McCaffrey, and he confirmed it there. He said that like they were able to get it to 60, but it wasn't. What did he say? Someone?
What about?
He was able to
it
get.
was
They were able to get it to 60, but
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I mean, at times we could get it to run at 60, which I mean, honestly, could be like at times when they look up at the sky, it runs at 60. Like, who knows, right? But he said that in order for it to be consistent, they locked it to 30. That it was a creative choice that they made, but I mean, I
yeah, and
guess
they
it
wanted that
was
overhead for some of the things that they plan on doing in that game. And
right,
I think it
right.
was very smart of them to show off such a detailed, in-depth look at the gameplay and what you'll be able to do. 45 minutes, it was excellent. Before dropping the news about the frames and such. So there's been a very interesting response after he stated this. A lot of people are now backtracking off their 60 frames or bust arguments. Even people like Destin Legary said, like, what did he say? He's like, I can imagine developers opting to go for 30, a stable 30, over trying to push for 60 going forward. I'm just like, whoa.
He also said 60 FPS was a buzzword.
He made it in his video.
Yeah, I made a counter video to that. And,
Yeah.
like, it just doesn't, like, he presents the argument of either or, and I'm like, no, we live, like, right now on consoles is no longer we're in duality. You can have options. The days of it has to be this way because of the hardware is over. Like, making a performance mode does not detract or negate the quality mode. If you want your 4K 30 bells and whistles, no one's saying don't do that. Just also provide that option for some type of performance mode. That way the gamer who don't mind not playing with all the bells and whistles, they probably prefer frame rate for the smoothness of the game. And that's it. I don't he's trying to create a versus scenario in a world where we're we no longer have colored water fountains and white only water fountains. Those days are over. Drink where you want, right? It's over. Play performance mode, play quality mode, and be the end of it. And the argument of, well, we got to have the best quality looking game, that argument is over with the existence of Series S. Because I guarantee it's going to look like trash, whoever plays it there. It's not going to look good.
I'm going to roll with you. So my mom has my Series S, right? And I have my Series X here. I booted up Destiny on my Series S, and I was like, oh.
It don't look the same, huh?
It does not look the same. So, and I understand why, but I was like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on here.
So we agree the argument of best quality graphics falls on his face with the Series S. You can't have that justification while your game is going to run on the Series S. Because all the people who play it there, they're not going to see what you're talking about in terms of quality assets, graphical fidelity, the bells and whistles. It's not going to be there. It's simply not going to be there. So I don't understand that they're holding on to that crutch. Like, why can't the Xbox gamers have the option, the Series X gamers have the option to play whatever the Series S gamers are playing, but at 60 frames?
Yeah.
Like, what,
I don't even think it will run.
Shout out to Mike, who's been a member for 10 months, saying that's my biggest problem with all of that. I'm still playing Starfield. It's just the blatant backtracking and flip-flopping, calling 60 FPS a buzzword. Yeah. No, it's weird. It's very, very weird. But go ahead, Slow-Mo.
I don't even think it would run at 60 FPS on the Series X with the Series S settings, considering that in the footage that they showed, with Todd Howard saying, hey, the Series X is 4K 30 FPS, the Series S is 1440p 30 FPS. But when people who analyzed that stuff looked at the footage, that was the footage that was supposed to be running on the Series X wasn't even running at the resolution.
It was like 1296 or something?
It was like 1200p or something like that for the Series X. So, and that's at 30 FPS. And I'm watching the footage and I'm seeing this stuttering all over the place. And I'm like, I mean, it looked good, but it's also stuttering at 1200p. Like, I don't know if like they can.
Now, here's the thing. I could understand the advertisement, 1,000 planets, which probably is just going to be, procedurally generated planets, which is really just blank canvas, right? You fly to planet 798, it's nothing there, maybe some minerals, and you build your base station. I think that's what ultimately is going to happen. I don't see 1,000 unique planets full of shit. to do. I just
Nah.
don't see that, right? I think that's overhyping. Once again, overhyping. But for the people who like to build stuff, I think that's going to be a great opportunity for people to just go from planet to planet and just build colonies and stuff like that. I think ultimately that's what that means. But as far as like the levels we both saw, right? Like actual places that has, whatever, buildings and stuff like that and fighting and the shooting. While it looks good, it doesn't like look that good to make me think why it's being crushed at 30 frames. You know what I mean? Like I've seen better looking games and performs better, right? I don't see why it's getting crushed. And my only thing is, I think the real problem is the engine's not that good. That creation engine, I don't know if it's built from the ground up or they just took the engine they already had and just modified and improved it.
They did the latter. They took the engine they already had and modified it.
Yeah,
and
they should have
partially.
I think that's
partially that was done to kind of like they got all these modders that are a part of their community that are going to want to make mods off the game. This is what is expected from the community, that like the game comes out and there's a ton of mods that they can jump into and enjoy. And the reason why they kept the creation engine is so that like the modders are familiar with it. They don't have to relearn something completely new with a whole new engine. So I mean, although that doesn't really, people who aren't going to indulge in that don't really care about that. But that is kind of like the reason why they went with the latter. It's just.
And that engine was always problematic. We always seen bugs. I mean, we're used to it, right? That's why they're Bethesda, right?
Mm-hmm,
but that engine's always problematic. I think
it's always fun.
Yeah, I think at a certain point, I mean, it's a business decision. I get it, it's whatever. But if we want to, if the industry really wants to take advantage of these consoles, sometimes you gotta get rid of the old shit and just build new shit from the ground up to truly. And I think really it's what Slomo said. It's the engine. It's just not a good engine. It's just not, And
they also
that's pretty much it.
Created their own real-time global illumination lighting for this game. It's a whole new system for that. That's like different than what everyone else has, and it's supposed to be providing different lighting for each planet, which is cool. There was some confusion because some people took that as ray tracing. Oh my God, there's ray tracing in the game. And I'm like, which brings in a whole nother aspect of why are you forcing ray tracing in a game? That's definitely going to be the reason why you can't do 60 FPS.
Oh yeah, if there's ray tracing in this game,
it's not though. It's not though. There's no ray tracing in it.
Yeah, so, but let's say if there was, can you put the toggle and just turn it off? I don't understand. Again, if I don't know, I just think it's a bad engine, and just of course they're not going to say it, right? They're not going to admit that our engine doesn't truly optimize the performance of the consoles, so we're limited. They're going to speak the truth, right? They're going to say but at the same time, don't say stupid shit like, oh, it's a creative decision. Like, no, because PC gamers are not going to play your game at 30 frames. They're not. Nobody on PC is really going to play this game at 30 frames. So they're not going to experience the creative decision-making process that you put in a game, especially when arguably some of the biggest community for Bethesda games, especially these type, is the PC community. That's your biggest audience right there. That's your audience.
The thing is, creative decision for consoles, because PCs, you can't limit them. They will brute force that just with sheer power. Like someone with a 4090, 64 gig of RAM, they will just clock it up to 120 or whatever they want, basically. Consoles don't have that option. So the creative decision was meant for the consoles, not meant for PC. Because
but it's not. But creative decision is like a vision of how you want the gamers to play the game. If you know your primary audience is not playing 30 frames, then don't listen. I understand there's a lot of dumbass console gamers, but come on, some of us are not that dumb, right? It's not like, oh, we want you creatively play the game the one. It's like, no, bro, you got quality mode. That's call it the creative vision mode. And then provide me this is how Porter Rocks want to play mode. The creative vision mode and the mode we want to choose mode. That's really what it comes down to.
PC is the only place where you can get that though, if you want that.
But that's traditionally. I think this gen, we got to move on from that. These consoles are good enough to give gamers options. We're no longer stuck with anemic hardware. Like the PS4 gen, completely agree. I mean, the fact that they had the nerve to give us laptop like mobile CPU, Jaguar cores, and a console That was a ballsy move in of itself by these corporations. So I totally get the limitations of consoles at the time and previously. But now we don't have that, right? You cannot tell me that we're stuck in this 30 frame world while other developers, and I'll use PlayStation as an example, they're giving us more options. They're giving us VR high frame rate modes and actually unlocking the game. They're like, you know what? We're gonna unlock this bitch, go with God and enjoy it. You know, like for example, why isn't Microsoft even attempting that? Like, can they too not? I mean, they had VR first. How come they're not saying, you know what? For you VRR guys, we're gonna play high frame rate VRR mode, play the game unlocked. Go with God and deal with it.
I
don't understand what's going on here.
The thing I worry about is the more bigger an open world's go in Unreal Engine 5, and people start wanting to push even more, because Unreal Engine 5 is untapped potential right now. So once they start pushing the envelope even more and more, I do wonder about these consoles at some point, because you can't just update the hardware. Like, so, I mean, it'll be interesting to find out how this generation progresses.
Yeah, and they don't and as far as right now, they don't have any plans to do like updated versions of the console. So I just think it's like super I just think the backtracking is super weird. It's expected because I mean we've been in this community long enough to know how people are going to respond to certain things and what people are going to do, right? But like I don't understand. I don't understand.
So I agree. So so you hit on the nail, right? Because when you think about it, which first party right now this gen, and sure, it's a console war talking point. Take it as for everyone, for anybody listening. But which first party has so far consistently been the one that had the nerve to say, hey, you guys are stuck at 30 frames with no options? And that's Microsoft. They did it with Flight Simulator, which people could say, well, it's the size, the scope. Okay, size and scope. Then what's the excuse for Redfall? Because size and scope don't apply to that sucker there. And it's a first-person shooter. So if any game really needs 60 frames, it's always a first-person shooter. Well, guess what? They gave you 30 frames for that. And now they're about to give you another 30 frames. So the real question is is Microsoft comfortable with releasing 30 frame only games? And when is the boiling point? Like, what if Fable is a 30 FPS only game?
Oh my God, please.
I'm just saying.
I don't think it would be.
I know, but let's say if it is, what you gonna do about it?
Play on
Nothing.
PC.
Well, all three of us are playing it on PC.
There you go. Hell yeah.
I'm playing on PC anyway.
But for the console gamers, what they're gonna do? Well, I should have. What they're gonna do? Nothing.
I mean,
they're gonna download it, play it on Game Pass.
I don't think many games are being built to that scale right now. So I think a lot of these games will release with 60. I think Starfield is because of what it is. Redfall was just crap-ass development. But like Forza would be 60. I'd imagine Hellblade would have a performance and a quality mode. I mean, seems legit. Avowed would be 60. I could give it that, yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Because because we haven't played the game yet, right? And of course, they're advertising 1,000 planets. To me, that sounds like No Man's Sky. I'm not trying to insult the game, but No Man's Sky has 1,000 planets. But really, all you're doing is traveling to this procedure world, which is nothing, and then you build shit, and then you create something. I get it. So, in terms of the size of scope for Starfield, like, is Microsoft or is Todd Howard? Do they have like a certain level of assets already loaded, and it's gotten to the point where they can't hold that game to 60 frames because they have just too much assets loaded, and that's what they're talking about in terms of experience. That in order to really enjoy the experience, a certain amount of assets have to be loaded, and that's crippling the CPU. Is that what's going on?
Well, I don't know if that's exactly what's going on. I thought when you were talking about like when it's like you go to a planet, they do have certain assets that will just generate for each planet. So it's not going to be a completely barren planet. There will be like stuff there, buildings there, all kinds of like structures and architecture that's there. But
all 1,000 planets?
Yeah.
Or the planets that are part of the gameplay story.
Well, both of those.
Okay.
It should be for both of those. They'll have stuff that is already just generated there for any planet that you do encounter. But whether I think it will be very, very much CPU bound. and with that, like you're gonna, I mean, even on PC, if you don't have a very beefy CPU, you probably are not going to be seeing the kind of frames that you typically get from other AAA games that you play. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. Although, like, you should, if you have a high end PC, you probably are not going to have a problem hitting 60 FPS, no problem. But I why you can't do it on console? I mean, like both of these consoles are using Zen 2 architecture for the CPUs. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, it's not Jaguar cores, bro. Like,
it's not Jaguar cores, but then it's also not like the very best you can get. It's not top of the line either, right? It's already like 3-4 years old as is. So it's just, I mean, I'm gonna say it like this, right? Not every game is created equally, and not every all the tools that developers have are the most efficient for the job. And I think that Todd could definitely lower the visual fidelity of the game, which he said it was about the fidelity of the game, and that's why they locked it at 30. He could lower the visual fidelity of the game in order to achieve 60 FPS. He feels that he does not want to compromise that for you guys.
He said you guys. He said for use people.
And I feel that like that really shouldn't be. Yeah, you are the developer, and it's your game that you are making, but you are not making the game for you. You are making the game for them. So if they want 60 FPS, you should provide that, even if you personally would never want to play on the 60 FPS performance mode because it's not going to look visually to your taste. Well, I mean, you got to put the game on a damn Series S. So
exactly. So what's the visual fidelity on that? So, and arguably, right? We can argue that if you're an Xbox console gamer this gen, you most likely have a Series S. So the majority is going to download this game and play it there. So if it's cool for them to play a Series S level fidelity, again, why can't that level fidelity be applicable for Series X owners as an option? Even if it's something like, hey, you're gonna play the Series S version, but you have to have VRR and high frame rate enabled, and you'll be able to play it at 1440p 45. You'll be surprised because Sony did that with if you played Rift Apart, they have a quality mode VRR high frame rate where the game is like quality mode 40 frames per second or 45 frames per second. Just a little bit boost. But that little boost makes a significant difference. It's a much smoother experience. Like, do something, bro. Like take advantage of all this technology that's been hyped and do something.
I think it is also on there, but also I want to see if any other big games, open world games, release at some point this generation to use as a benchmark, just to see if it's something to do with the size of the game, because you can't take a hub world or a linear game and compare it to an open world game, because an open world game requires a lot more than what those games require. So we don't have a benchmark to even put it against, because what was the last big open world game? Like really big?
Man, I don't know. But let me get the super chat.
Was it Witcher?
Saying,
3?
In my opinion, yes. It might have been The Witcher 3.
Cyberpunk?
In my opinion, oh yeah, Cyberpunk. But Cyberpunk launched with they had like 2 modes that you could choose from on Xbox, and then on PS5 it was like just one set mode. But in my opinion, Xbox is not using better hardware or larger internal hard drives. It's because they're being lazy. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of being lazy. I just think that Todd Howard's gonna do what Todd Howard's gonna do, man. And some people are saying the hardware is not powerful enough. At this point, I would assume not, but I don't know. I really just don't know. It really is like a wait and see sort of situation. I had a brief discussion with somebody, and they're just like, a lot of PC gamers aren't going to be able to run this either. I'm like, well, PC gamers can just update their stuff. Right. It's easy. They can just take their computer apart and update it. It's different for console guys, but we can just move on from that. Let me take a look at this chat real quick. What's up, Dre? What's up, Saber? None of your business. Mary, Chelsea, Kubini. Okay, a Geekhead Jeff, Blade X, Ronald, Blessed, Germany, Boss, Truth Serum, Me First, Taz, Gregor, Pardon Key. Oh, apologies for butchering your name. Blessed Red, Brian, and everybody. What's up, guys? Saber, what's up, guys? Hope you Blue Moon, kind as always. Brian, Amon. But yeah, what's up, guys? Hope y'all doing good today. Please hit the like button, much appreciated. I know it's a pretty interesting topic. J Prime.
All the ponies in the chat, yeah. Hey, stop hating on Starfield and go play your games.
Nathaniel, Luca, did you quit Destiny? Yes, I did. Okay. Anyway, do you guys?
Good for her. Good for her.
Before we get into this ugly video game characters topic, I did want to talk about. Shout out to Lady Foxfire saying, hi. What's up, girly pop? Hope you're doing good. In my opinion, the show was okay, but not for me. I don't like RPGs, and I wish I could have seen Perfect Dark and Gears. Still no reason to get a new Xbox. I love Lulu. Yeah, there's. Let me not speak. But anyway, but yeah, always good to see you. Yes, I did quit gaming. Actually, I played some Fear and Hunger. That's what I've been playing. Excellent title. a little, not for the faint of heart. But real quick. Okay, I would like to talk about the Final Fantasy demo. First of all, for the ponies who were up in my fucking reply saying it's a demo, the game's frame rate's gonna be perfectly fine when it releases. They don't even need a patch, Luca. They came out and stated that there's going to be a patch for Final Fantasy to work on the demo, or to work on the frame rate, that is. And I think that's fantastic. I don't have an issue with it. I just don't care. Is what it really comes down to. Hopefully it runs better than how it was running for some people. I didn't have any issues in the demo, to be honest. And I played it on the higher frame rate mode. So, but I just real quick. Okay, the Final Fantasy 16 post-launch features will include some frame rate improvements, the ability to turn off and adjust motion blur, adjust the camera speed, ability to turn off companion auto follow, and more button binding options, which is awesome. I just want to also ask you guys, what do you think Final Fantasy 16 is going to score in terms of like Metacritic wise? Because honestly speaking, I think there may be more people who play this title in comparison who are not like JRPG fans, not Final Fantasy fans, because I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy, but I will be like playing this game expeditiously, you know what I'm saying? So what do you guys?
Devil May Cry 16 will score an 80. I'll go 89. I'll go 89. Sure. I wanted to go in on the Yoshi P hype train.
I would go 88. Because the price is right out here. So go one lower or one higher. But no, I really enjoyed the demo. I think the story is a strong suit, and I think the combat is very good. The demo, the frame rate, especially in the castle, was on like a roller coaster. It was just going up and down all over the place. And the motion blur is strong in that one, but I'm glad that they announced that you could turn the motion blur off, because good grief, that motion blur was pretty wicked in the game. But I really enjoyed the combat. I really enjoyed it. I wished it wasn't over, and I kind of wanted to roll into the full release, which doesn't come out for a week. But
I know it sucks. Like I want to play it right now. Like okay, well, whatever. But yeah, so let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. So 94.90. Oh, did I get everybody? Rock, did you
didn't get Pira?
So yeah, so I didn't play the demo because once again, I don't play demos because the excuses always happen. It's an old build. It doesn't reflect the game.
Boo.
And if I already
brother,
know,
I need you to.
No, that's a girl.
Okay.
I already have it pre-ordered.
Okay.
So listen. I prefer the
I'm
real
listening.
thing.
Okay.
You know?
He
I don't-
already like, hey,
I don't want
don't
no side
stab
chick.
me.
Listen. I marry my women. I don't go for the
Oh,
side chicks.
okay,
I
okay.
I'm gonna put a ring on it. All right. I already bought it. So I already knew I'm gonna buy it. So I didn't really need to double dabble. You know, I'm going all in. But again, the whole demo thing, we hear that all the time. They release a demo, then there's a backlash, and then the company damage control. Well, what do you expect? You're releasing an older build. People are gonna judge the build that you show them. It's their fault, you know. The only thing I can see maybe with demo, maybe I think the industry needs to look at demos a little bit differently, right? Because we do see a lot of games they launch broken or they launch with a lot of issues, and I think the industry has to figure something out. So what if instead of, you know, they go to more of a, you know what? Because supposedly this game got gold like 3 months ago, from what I'm hearing. Like this game was gold for a while, right? So what if they say, you know what, this is what we'll do. We'll release a game, make it go gold, release a demo of that gold build, see reality of the game, because that's when reality hits you and you're like, oh shit. Because for whatever reason, I guess until the game launches, developers don't really truly know how their game's gonna be because of how big it are. Okay, so you release a demo of the build that you think you're gonna launch, get the reaction of it. Hey, frame rate hits, issues. All right, cool. Patch it, and now you launch a game with issues that you would have gotten if you would have launched the game in the state that you thought was gold or good. I think maybe that can at least improve the dynamic of having better running games day one. And I think gamers will be used to that and they'll have more faith in developers. Because sure, the developers are saying, hey, we're trying, we're doing our best, we love games, we don't try to release broken games. Got it. But you're still releasing broken games though. And all we care about is the results. The result speaks more than what you're trying to do. So maybe this could reestablish good faith between gamers and the developers in the industry. Like, okay, now we see the form you're trying to do. You release a demo, we'll give you our feedback, you do the patches, and now you release a proper built game the day it launches. I think maybe the industry's got to figure out something to fix this issue. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you. Wait, did you give your score?
Oh, my score? Oh man, so Somo took 88, right? Because that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm thinking it's 88.
Hey,
So
you just go with 87, man.
So nah. So, no, you know what? Then you know what? You know, I'm gonna listen to what Jordan said. You know what I'm saying? You know, you miss every shot you don't take. So I'm gonna say 90.
Okay.
I'm, you know, 2 seconds to the, you know, it's 2 seconds. I'm going Kobe. Screw it. it's like, the game. Yo, this game, you're gonna win. You're gonna live or die off of my shot. Here we go. 90.
Just don't fumble the ball.
That's
Okay,
it.
so yeah, I'm gonna give my score too. I know I don't normally do this, but I don't think this is like that big of a deal, to be honest, in terms of giving it a score. But I say 90 as well. I would be just like based on the quality, I'd be surprised if it scores lower. So unless it has like a major drop off in terms of story going forward, or unless it like drops super buggy and messed up or whatever, I can't imagine it scoring lower. But I don't know what the Final Fantasy games typically score. So all right, can you do me a favor, Singer?
Yeah.
Can you share your screen for this? I'm sending it to you right now. All right, guys, we're going to talk about these ugly characters, these ugly chicks in video games. Yeah.
Shield
right.
your eyes.
So 87, 93, 92, 92. 90 or 92. Oh, what's up, Troyski?
Let me have my DMs.
What's up, Les? AC, what's up? Trap House, good. It's goody. Leo, X Hawk, what's up? What's up? Drew, what's up? What's up? Did you get it?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, there it is. Phil, what's up? All right. If you could zoom in, if you could zoom in, please.
How much by? Let me know when it's good.
Now keep going. Another. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So I put out this tweet a few days ago. Okay, here's the thing. I need folks to not assume my position based on me asking a question about a topic, all right? Because people do that where it's like if you pose a question, they automatically assume that you're taking the position of whatever question you pose, right? Which is super annoying because I've already talked about how I feel about this subject, right? But I asked, I was like, nah, be for real, y'all. Do you really think they're deliberately making ugly female characters for these games? OMG. Now, let's scroll through some of these replies because I think we got some interesting perspectives. But before we start, I want to just yes or no from. I know it's a more nuanced conversation, and we can add nuance to it as we continue. But I'm asking the panel, Slomo, do you think they are deliberately making ugly female characters?
Can I say yes and no? Because I think some devs are and some devs aren't.
Okay.
I think most devs aren't, but I think some definitely are, and they're mostly Western developers that do that.
All right, so Deaf Singer.
No, I only think it's specific. Well, yes and no. I only think it's very specific studios because when I saw, because this is about the Fable character, she's not ugly. It's so I don't know what people are seeing, but I'm not seeing the same thing.
Okay, so wait, what did you say? Yes or no?
I said yes and no.
Okay,
because,
all right,
yeah.
Rock.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Oh my god, you're cutting out. I said, do you think they're deliberately making female characters ugly in these games?
I don't think it's deliberate. I just think they're avoiding the typical old school make this girl look like eye candy or like jerk off material. I think that's what they're avoiding, right? And maybe they haven't found the right balance, but I think it's just a case of let's not design like a warrior in fighting in a string bikini and a sword.
Okay.
You
All
know
right,
what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. All right, let's go ahead and go through these answers real quick. So Phil says a few yes, based on their wording, okay, and reasoning behind designing certain female characters in their games, but the majority, especially ones being accused of it, not at all. And then I asked him to provide like some examples, and he said Cassandra from Inquisition. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I was like, what are you talking about, man? Cassandra
that's not
ugly at all. Like I was like, whoa. So we can just move on from that.
Yeah, I think Phil has a preference, and she ain't it or something.
I guess
she's not ugly.
Yeah, not at all. Like the characters look the best in Inquisition, so we can just move on from that.
Do you want me to skip it?
Oh, and Morgan as well looked good in Inquisition. Okay, and then let's see here. Okay, so we can move on from that. Look at the next person. So Von Red said some developers, absolutely. They're doing it under the guise of diversity. I believe that, but it's mostly a Western developer thing. Cyberpunk 2077 is a good example of diversity and attractiveness in characters. And I said, I think you have the best answer. Marcus says they took out Chloe's ass in Uncharted Lost Legacy. And even in the game, they acknowledge how noticeable it was. I was like, oh, okay.
Flat ass lives matter.
DC says, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Mass Effect Andromeda, a reveal trailer showed you could play as either the bro or sis. Both looked great, but when the game released, the brother looked straight out of the Model Academy. The sis looked like she dropped out of it. Me and Slomo had a back and forth about this, and Slomo, he was like, wait a second. They definitely made her uglier, Luca. I'm like, no, I don't know. I mean, like, the game looked kind of sketchy in general, and then he showed me the pictures again. I was like, oh, I forgot. I was like, oh, yeah. So they, like... And then you mentioned something about how they had someone come in.
Was it Anna Cartesian, whatever the heck her name is? Y'all know who that is? That the woman that be like parading around like
Skarkegan?
Who knows?
What is her name?
But she showed up at their studio, and then they started kind of like publicly talking a lot of her talking points about women in media. And then if you look at BioWare as a whole, you look at Mass Effect Legendary Edition, they changed
Sarkeesian. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, they changed Miranda Lawson's body type a bit in Mass Effect 2 and 3. So it's like they kind of, it's like, I don't know, look, they're a different studio than they used to be. I'll say.
My favorite mod was restoring her ass. Well, I mean her assets. My bad. Restoring Miranda's assets to the way they used to be.
Anita Sarkeesian.
That's it. I knew we got her all wrong.
I was like, oh my goodness, what is her name? I mean,
Like, if you,
I should have known better than to trust you for naming stuff. But
Of
anyway,
course, right? Well, why would you ever do
but
that? So,
if you, for those who haven't played Mass Effect on PC yet, it is mandatory to get the Miranda mod because you are missing out.
yeah. So okay, let's see here, and then we can skip that one. King Kovu said, I think the evolution of most Mortal Kombat females could be a good example, especially Sonya Blade over the years. And I think that's a great point because they've had the same person leading the entries this entire time, right? So that's a good point. I do agree with that. Okay, we can continue. We can scroll on. We can scroll on. We just missed that, skip that one too. We had a good conversation there. Dai is a game developer, so he said, game devs are horny, and animators are even hornier. Don't let them lie to y'all. And then J Main's like, I do think some developers are intentionally making female characters that lack or have the least amount of sex appeal in response to the past where women characters were too sexy. It doesn't bother me either way. And then if you can hit show replies for that. He's like, for me, I always look at the Naughty Dog for this example. Chloe, they definitely toned down in her assets from the previous game. Same with Lara Croft. Abby and Nadine are two strong female characters, and they look it doesn't have to be like this, man, but they look every bit of it, not ugly, but little to no sex appeal. And I was just like, okay, that makes sense to me. I do recall people making comments about that. Lara Croft is a great example. They definitely toned down her titties in the reboot of the franchise. I think at least in the first one, I think she's pretty. But I heard that they dimmed her looks going forward from the first one. So I don't know. Anyway, we can just move on from that. Okay, we can move on. So Heart 8 says, look at the women that play these games in real life, then look at them in the game. If they're busty, they make them less busty. If they're pretty, they make them less pretty. And then if you can hit show replies. And then he gave an example. So here's the Fable girl in real life versus how she is in the game. If you want to click on that. So that's her in the game. And then if you want to go ahead and click. And this is her in real life. What a pretty girl, right? I think she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's pretty, yeah.
She isn't too far off the image, to be honest.
Yeah.
It also could be like, you ever took a photo where you just look busted
all the time. I look busted in the
majority
of my pictures.
So yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, it could be just that one particular photo is not very appealing, but again, but then also you're trying to replicate a real life human in a video game, and how well you're able to do that with the engine and the graphics, and I get it.
It's how well can you do the character in game? Because like not every game is gonna have the mocap of Hellblade, for example, or something.
Yeah, they definitely focus on that goddamn mocap.
You are correct. They're not gonna go to that level of detail where you can see like the wrinkle, the crows, whatever they're calling live. Yeah, then some people are just not gonna go that in depth.
All right, so if you want to scroll down, let's see here. I don't know if this is off base or not, but here's some examples. So there's chick who plays Aloy, chick who plays Abby. Who is that? Is that from?
That is Jill Valentine from Resident Evil.
From Resident Evil. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Jill Valentine's always been attractive, though. I don't think
she looks good.
Yeah, she's not an ugly character at all. No.
And then chick who plays Abby. Well, they would have had to make her more, give her more masculine features based on her physique. I know that there are real women who look like that, please, but
But the face model isn't the actual where they designed her body from was from a different woman altogether.
Mm-hmm. So. All right, and then we can go to the next one. And then me and Soma had a back and forth about this. And it wasn't really a back and forth. It was a discussion in which I was asking him, I was like, I saw this post where this chick posted different angles and different screenshots of Aloy, and she looked different than how she looked. So we talked about it, and Soma went into his game and checked himself, and she looks different in some pictures. In some angles. So.
I don't know if it's something with the Decima engine. I mean, the Decima engine is great. Actually, I don't think it's the Decima engine
because Death Stranding.
Yeah, right. And I showed you screenshots from some of the black characters in the game, and in every screenshot I had of them, their facial structure remained consistent. It's just that with Aloy, sometimes it's depending on the angle. I had a bunch of photos in there, and it's some angles her face looks really bloated, and then others she looks like the face model, and it's just
Maybe
like,
she's just on her period, bro. You don't know. Like
oh,
bodies.
Oh man. Oh man.
I mean, I'm just saying. You know,
if I was analyzing it, her face just looks longer in this. Like that Aloy picture in game, that look like that's a long face when you compare that to the actual other picture, which is shorter.
I mean, I feel like that was a valid commentary, guys. Please, but anyway, we can just move on from that. But yeah, okay, I hear you. So scrolling back, okay, I agree with Saber. Hold on, let me just make sure I agree. Okay, I agree with Saber. We can move on. And then Chase is like making fun of the people who care about this. Okay, let's keep scrolling. And then, if anything, Naughty Dog or culprits, Dina got nerfed. The girl who plays Dina, she's got like some nice assets in her front area, and but like Dina is like smaller, but which I would make sense. They would be malnourished, right? Right? I don't know, but anyway, she's a very pretty girl.
I think they were eating pretty good in the beginning of the last of that part too.
They were eating pretty good, weren't they? Okay, yeah, because they were.
In more ways than one.
What is it? You need some milk.
No one else got that.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say malnourished, and yet you have Abby, who looks like a fitness instructor. Yeah, so she's eating good.
Yeah, she's definitely getting her protein.
So I did ask this question. Some people were like, the characters match their environment. I'm like, okay, right, no, I hear you, but if you're in a post-apocalyptic setting, does that just mean that everybody's ugly? Like genetically, everyone's ugly? And I don't think I got an answer for that. Because I'm genuinely curious. Like,
I don't think so.
Because that's always the excuse. It's like, well, the environment. I'm like, so this just means that people are ugly then.
I mean, girls who hide behind makeup, they might have some issues, but that's about it. That's about it.
I mean, I actually didn't know. You're right. You're right.
Wonders. Makeup,
you're right. It does, because there are some girls who it's like you're like, whoa. That's on, but like for other girls, it's just used to enhance, but like not cover.
I could talk from experience for clubbing. You meet a girl the night, you wake up in the morning, you're like, who the hell are you? You are not who I brought home last night.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was single, I used to be like, a little bit more leery of the girls where the makeup is just kind of like it's a mask, just caked on. I'm like, you don't look like that under all of that.
Yeah, I don't wear makeup, not because I have an issue with it, but just because I don't know how to do my makeup. So. But so then we can move on from that. Let's see here. Kev says, I don't think they're ugly. We move on from that. NC says some new age feminist devs are. We move on from that. They were like, Freya wasn't pretty. Freya is barefoot and doesn't shower, but we can just move on from that.
She actually looks pretty good though.
Freya looks good though. I think Freya looks good.
Yeah, she looks good.
We can just move on from that. Let's see here. Something about feminists. Okay, move on from that. Move on from Hades. Marley, you can hit the show more, saying yes. They either make female characters oddly unattractive, masculine looking, reduce their sex appeal, or just remove it altogether, regardless of how attractive the face models are. They intentionally try to avoid anything they believe will attract the male gaze, and this tracks with the ideology of most Western devs, which is why you only see this coming from Western studios and not the Asian ones. For example, if we look at popular fighting game franchises, we have Street Fighter, Tekken, Soul Calibur, and Mortal Kombat. Only one of those franchises is from a Western studio, and only one of those studios are on record saying they toned down the sex appeal for their female characters. It's no coincidence it's the Western studio-based one, while all the games from Asian studios have not toned down the way their female characters are presented. So if you go ahead and click the back for that, and he provided a link too. We just move on from that one too. Whoa. Well, just, anyway.
Hey, I need to bookmark this. Hang on. There we go.
Let's see here.
Like, I have a question real quick on the topic. It's on this topic. So based on your perception, everyone's perception, who is like the biggest audience that has the biggest problem? And I'm talking from a gender perspective.
Men.
Like, is there a lot of female gamers that are blowing up saying, oh, this is bullshit? Or is it just primarily male gamers?
Bro, I actually don't fucking know. You remember that Dove commercial? Did you see that?
No. Which commercial?
Okay, so Dove released this commercial a couple weeks ago in which they had they deliberately went from a well-fit, attractive female lead and then had her like present the real her, and the real her was overweight, overweight and such, right? Just throwing her feet up on the table, anyway. But anyway, so like they
She was
basically,
actually showing more skin
she was showing more skin, which
after
was
than
interesting.
yeah.
But essentially it came down to coming off as like um them saying that being in good shape means that people are automatically objectifying you, because she was wearing full body armor and such. But then like they had her reveal her true self, and her true self is just obese with a tank top and like some short shorts and stuff. And it's just weird. It was weird. And then it was talking about how 77% of female gamers don't feel represented. I'm just like, wait a second, are these 77% of obese chicks, or like diversity in general? You know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
know.
they take one thing and then they try to, like, they use the data that involves a lot more than just that, but they try to make it seem like I know what you mean.
So
And
it's like
I remember the commercial you're talking about now. It's the
yeah.
yeah.
So me personally, let's see here. Why are you talking like this? Aquarius Kudo, are you here? Are you here? First of all, I'm talking like that because I'm a cute girl. Let's get that straight, okay? I'm talking like that because I'm a cute girl. End of discussion. All right. Anyway, we just move on from that.
What just happened? What is going
He's
on?
like, because I was like, the boy who plays Luffy is a cutie patootie. He's like, oh, why are you talking like that? I'm just like, because I'm cute.
Where is this? This is the
Twitter.
chat. Oh, Twitter. Wait. Oh, okay. All right.
Like, it's not like I'm some kind of. Anyway, we just move on from that. But yeah, let's see here. Like, I hate when people ask me why I'm talking a certain way. Don't ask me that, okay? Don't ask me that. Let's see here. Exactly. All right. So Michael says, I think Western Studios tone that stuff down. Look how Laura Croft changed. We just move on from that. Let's see here. Wise Guy says, my immediate reaction is not quite, but a more detailed response is it depends. I do think many publishers are making an attempt to make characters less sexualized and have different kinds of body types represented. The problem is now curvier, wider hips, and bigger breasts is, and go ahead, click that, because I think he continues. Seen as bad for artists to create and a no-go for publishers, which is publishers are looking to have quote-unquote female representation of all body types. A curvier frame is just as needed as a straight frame, a round frame, and a muscular frame in the same way for male characters. A muscular superhero frame should be represented, but shouldn't be the only frame, as only a small percentage of men look like that, even when talking about those who work out regularly. So if you can go back. So Come Kill V says, absolutely, there's many cases we've seen where actors are far more beautiful than their characters for sake of realism. Like, make it make sense, Luca. All right. Redo says conspiracy. Rowan says no. People are quick to want a new narrative to things they hate on. JL says it depends on the game. JD says some of them change the body type, but they won't make ugly female characters. And then Homeboy used Abby. Flaffy says Abby. D'Angelo says depends on the game, because most RPG characters are attractive, like 2B, Miranda, the Persona girls, Frey. But I've seen them tone down appearances for Freya, Mortal Kombat women, Aloy, Lara Croft. Ray Rod says, and Neil Druckmann said in an interview that they do so in an interview. He said they do so in an interview. I think it's fine to have a protagonist like Ellie, but also old school Lara Croft. I'm more feminist than feminist. They want to get rid of sexy female characters. So anyway, like that's basically just, it was like a back and forth. I do think there are some developers who are deliberately making a case to try and like tone down certain aspects of female characters for diversity's sake, but I don't think it's like all of them, because how many games actually have female leads? Like, you would have to look at the ratio between games that actually have female leads versus the games that have female leads that are unattractive, and there's not a lot of games with female leads that are like mainstream. Unless, I mean, if you guys can name more than like 10, I'd appreciate it.
More than 10 games that have a female lead?
Yeah.
I guess, are we just doing a straight IP? Because like Tomb Raider is like the last 3 games. That's 3 games right there. But I guess
No,
we can
I'm
just do
talking
by
like
franchise.
IP. I'm talking
By
IP.
IP. Okay, so there's Lara Croft, Tomb
Okay,
Raider,
Laura.
Horizon.
Laura, Aloy, Ellie.
Yeah.
Uncharted
Ellie.
Lost Legacy.
Chloe and Nadine.
Samus.
Samus.
Yeah, Samus.
Oh,
Perfect Dark with
Hellblade.
Hellblade.
Nier Automata.
Nier Automata. 5.
Yeah.
Okay, or 10. All right.
Life is Strange.
Shout out to my babies on Life is Strange. Yeah.
The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Final Fantasy 6.
Final Fantasy 6.
Resident Evil 3.
Resident Evil 3. It's 14.
Half-Life Alyx.
Half-Life Alyx. 15.
Stella Hams.
Mirror's Edge.
Returnal.
Stella
Mirror's
Yams.
Edge.
17.
Stella Yams.
18.
Don't forget Stella Yams.
19.
Bright Memory.
20. Okay. Fatal Frames 21.
One of the Assassin's Creed games.
A Plague Tale.
A Plague Tale, yeah.
23
Mirror's
for
Edge. Yeah.
You said Mirror's Edge. 24 for Odyssey. Final
Heavenly
Fantasy
Sword.
Heavenly Sword. That was wild. That's we're going back. We're going back. We're going that far back.
25, 26 for Blood Rain, 27 for Bayonetta.
Portal 2.
Portal 2.
I guess you could say Mass Effect, even though you
is
create
29.
your own.
Yeah. I think but
Fire Emblem. Let's 30.
Oh, Silent Hill 3.
31.
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey.
I did Odyssey. I counted that.
Okay.
32 for Jet Force Gemini.
Tales of Berseria.
33. 34 Fable.
Celeste.
I mean, are we going like in history?
Celeste.
Like
history.
Oh, so the first Phantasy Star, Alice
Fantasy
was
Star.
Did you do Bayonetta?
37
Alice?
for Beyond Two Souls. That is.
We gotta put in Heavy Rain.
Yeah,
Heavy Rain has a
39.
female protagonist that has a lot of
and Beyond Two Souls. Beyond Two Souls.
40 for that.
Kena.
Am I at 40, guys? 41 for Kana.
Did you have Beyond Two Souls?
Yeah, I had that. 42.
Returnal.
System Shock. 43.
So she had a return.
Oh, okay.
Alice
Ravenlock.
44. Ravenlock 45. Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't know about that. 46.
Oxenfree.
Yeah.
Oxenfree.
47.
Did you do Control?
Oh, yeah,
48.
Control.
No, we did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Control.
Transistor 49. Trails of the Sky 40. Trails in the Sky.
Damn, I'm pretty impressed.
Shantae 51. Alan Wake 2 52.
Alan Wake 2 is a female protagonist?
Yeah, it's Alan Wake and a chick. So
okay.
It's
Saga. It's an FBI agent named Saga. It's a new character.
52. All right, great. How many games with male protagonists?
Oh man, come on.
Well, yeah, we can't.
She set
too
us
many
up.
to list.
She set us up.
Everybody.
Max Payne 2.
Everything else.
No, everything else. Everything else.
Everything else.
53 for Alien Isolation. 54 for Dishonored 2.
Again, it's easier to count what game is not male protagonist.
Yeah, we got Lightning.
Yeah.
Okay, so like 54. How long has gaming been a thing? How many years? How many decades?
It's like
4 decades.
4 decades? Okay,
Yeah,
so
at least.
I'm sure there are more, but we could only name 54 female protagonists versus the thousands of male protagonists that exist. Shout out to Lynch with the big dono saying, I think living in an apocalypse / hard life will make you uglier. Look at before and after pics of addicts. That's a good point. Also, beauty standards are different for men and women. Rugged Joel versus rugged Abby and Last of Us. I mean, they both could. Okay, anyway. Thank you. I appreciate that, StarCraft.
You know what that kind of reminded me of? Remember we were having a conversation. We were talking about how it seems like they don't change the way the male face scans look, but they change the way the female face scans look, it seems.
Yeah. Can you hold on to that for a second, though? I missed the super chat. So shout out to Miko saying, Sif, Thor's wife. Oh, I mean, she was bad. She was a little bit too bad for Thor, but,
double
like
true.
different things. Like, and Ragnarok is an absolute MILF. Wait till Stellar Eams comes out. It's going to be lambasted due to her attire and suggestive angles. You already know what's
if it comes out, because these Chinese games seem to be...
it's Korean.
Man, you gotta be really listen. Be mindful if you're speaking on these titles, man. At least get the right ethnicity, dude.
Okay,
God damn.
but like a lot of these
Korean games come out. Chinese games is a little iffy.
Chinese games are vaporware, is what I'm saying. But Korean games generally come out, so this would be interesting.
All right, cool. If you guys hit the like button, that'd be much appreciated. But yeah, so there's thousands of male characters versus the female character counterparts. Based on who we named, there are definitely more attractive female characters in that list versus ugly ones. Do you guys agree or disagree? I mean, I think so.
No, some of them we named. It's kind of hard to tell considering, like, I mean, like you bring up Samus, and Samus is in full armor.
Samus is bad. Like,
yeah, but like but Samus is in body armor for the majority of the time, and a lot of people, in the very beginning, people didn't even know Samus was a woman until a reveal.
That's true, yeah.
But like when we brought up, say, like I brought up Oxenfree, which has a female protagonist, and it's very similar but kind of creepier, like a creepier version of Life is Strange. But you can't, like, the character models are so small you can't even tell what they look like. So it's just like, I think with some games it's hard to tell, and they're kind of like it's undecided.
Some games
is cute, yeah.
Some games it's not hard to tell. Like shout out to Dead or Alive with their physics.
The jiggle physics, yeah.
Yeah, unmatched, by the way.
And then first of all, real quick, not related, this person I just retweeted, she's a cuck. Okay, I really don't like her, but she named a bunch of female characters. So Samus, Lara Croft, Claire Redfield. Oh, I think we missed that for sure. Jill Valentine, Faith Connors, Heather Mason, Cassandra, Bayonetta Sinua, Rain, 2B, Clementine, Femshep, Ellie, Aloy, Alex Vance, Shell, Aveline. I'm not sure I hope that's not Aveline from Dragon Age 2, because that's definitely a no. But I don't know.
That is Aveline from Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, okay, that doesn't count. Aya Bria, Mission Val, Bastilia, Satil, Jahani, Kreia, Visus, Mira, Chere, Yuna, Tifa.
Mission Val is a side character, party member for Knights of the Old Republic.
Look at this.
So is Bastila Shan.
Over here, just pushing an agenda, because these aren't even
Juhani. She literally went down the list of the Knights of the Old Republic. Juhani is a side character. Kreia is an old woman that is your party member in Knights of the Old Republic.
So fucking disingenuous. But I'm not surprised, because this is this content creator is a disingenuous person. So I'm not surprised by that. A shout out to Sir X-Men saying Lara Croft will always be top 5. Agreed. Yeah, no, she's definitely cap-a-lapping, because again, some of these characters are not even protagonists. They're okay, we can just move on.
When you play the games, you know.
Exactly.
Every female side party member for Knights of the Old Republic.
I was like, Aveline, hold on. Hold on. Okay, so not Emily Wong from Mass Effect. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, I definitely think that there's. What's up, Nautical? By the way.
Yo,
I
what's
heard
up?
that you were on anher podcast, and that's why you weren't here.
Yeah, because he asked me a while ago.
Like yesterday?
Who
you liar.
Well, I'm laughing at Luca. No, I'm laughing at Luca.
What show are you a member of?
Listen.
He said he asked me a while ago, which was like
just
last
fucking
night.
lying.
Not
just
like
be
this.
honest, man. Just be like, I want to do that show, Luca.
No.
Bald face lie. Look, he can't even come up with a lie.
He
now.
said, "When did he ask you? 3 hours ago?" Like, what?
It wasn't no 3 hours ago. It wasn't 3 hours ago. It was not 3 hours ago.
It wasn't a while ago either.
It was a while ago. 24 hours ago was a while ago.
Adam says,
it wasn't even 24 hours
there's an
ago.
overcorrection in female protagonists lately, but there's a reason for good-looking female and male characters. It sells. Most gamers wanted to play escape reality. Yeah. Okay, so I had a conversation. Shout out to my girl Sophie. I love her. I love her so much, right? Like nothing but love for her. We definitely have different perspectives on how we approach these conversations, and I have nothing but love and respect for her. But like she was like, why does this conversation apply more to women? And I'm just like, girl, you already know why. Like, you know why it applies more to the women, why it gets brought up when it comes to women. It's because women are in some cases seen as sexual objects used for enjoyment. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, there are several male protagonists who are rugged, good-looking men. You know what I mean? And me personally, I would like to play as someone who is attractive, right? She's like, why does attractiveness of characters matter in the first place? Because sex sells. And I personally have a preference where I would rather play as someone I think is attractive because I like having nice things to look at, okay? Like, is that so wrong? And that's my thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting attractive characters in your games. It really is how you phrase things, though, because some of the people who initially bring up this topic of conversation do it in a way that is so extreme that they look like weirdos, you know? But like, there's a nice little middle ground in which I feel like the majority of us fall in the middle ground where don't get me wrong, I'll play a game if the lead isn't attractive, if the game is good. Like, at the end of the day, I am a gamer. I'll play a game if it's good, right? It doesn't matter how the lead looks if the game is good, right? But is it an extra little push if the character is attractive? Yeah. A shout out to Sir X-Men saying, I saw 40 having fun on Dragon's Den with Lemon? Dragon's Den with Lemon? That's who you're with, Lemon?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so me personally, I don't think that I'm some kind of weirdo or incel or femcel for wanting to play as like attractive characters. Like one of my favorite aspects of playing as The Witcher, I mean, I was definitely role playing as Geralt. Like I was Geralt, right? But I enjoyed like, you know, shaving him, and he had nice haircut. He was a real man, right? And then I also enjoy
A real man.
I also enjoy like Alfin
real
from
man.
Tales of
A
Arise,
real
and
boy.
like beautiful. And then Clive from the new fan of Final Fantasy, that is a beautiful man, you know? So I'm like, okay, I like looking at good looking people. And then if for the female aspect, Miranda Lawson, my wife, still my wife to this fucking day.
My wife
To
too.
this fucking day. Everybody's wife, honestly. Shion is also very beautiful.
She my side piece.
I mean,
I will say about
Listen,
Shion.
I can't take too many
Aerith
people
is still up there too, though.
Too many people running through that. I can't take her home.
I will say between Shion and Kasara, I would definitely Kasara.
I'm all about,
because she has the extra, you know, well-built assets, and you know, you could get some ground and pound on that.
you know, sometimes
Singer.
sometimes I feel like these conversations, like I'll be wanting to ask the people that be having issues with stuff like this, and I was like, hey, is this person ugly or something? Is that what the problem is? It's like I don't get it. It's like, who cares? I mean, granted, I understand, you know, first of all, Fable's characters are you can make your own character, so you know this isn't.
It doesn't matter for Fable, no.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, you know. But what, like when I made my shepherd wasn't ugly. My shepherd was goddamn good looking because I wanted all the people that attracted to him to be good looking too, even though that wasn't how the game played itself out. But
I do kind of wonder.
Everybody loves Shepherd.
Everybody.
True. I do kind of wonder with the character created in Fable if they're going to do it kind of similar to how WB Montreal did Hogwarts Legacy. So you had a character creator in Hogwarts Legacy, but they scanned like 24 people's faces. And so everything, like your foundation of your character was kind of built off of a face scan of a real person. And then you could kind of like take it from there. But it wasn't very in depth, right? It was kind of like, okay, this is where you start with, and you can kind of take it a little different from here to make your character, but you're going to have a lot of similarities between people. You're not going to have the kind of stuff where people were making like Khaleesi from Game of Thrones and Dragon Age Inquisition. Like, you're not going to have the character slide.
Khaleesi?
What I say?
Palisade.
Palisade.
I was like, who is
Palisade.
Palisade?
Hey man,
I was
look,
wondering too.
I was thinking about some alcohol.
Lord,
My bad.
He
Hey,
churched
He
it
been
up.
drinking.
He
He
got
been
over.
drinking, Luca. He's been drinking.
Just like, what are you talking about, dude?
Khaleesi,
Khaleesi?
okay?
Jesus Christ, man.
Daenerys
Palisade?
Daenerys Targaryen, first of her name with the
Shocked that you got Daenerys'
No,
name
yo,
right.
he's just stunting now. He's trying to make it.
Yeah,
gonna
he's
say
Hey,
trying
look,
to
I know
he's
the
stunting 'cause
entire.
he knows how
I
to
know
say
all her
that.
titles. I know all her titles. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So look,
There's
look,
a lot of them.
look. I actually saw, like, I actually used that one too. There was a character sliders for Dragon Age Inquisition to make her and look exactly like her. And I'm like,
Jesus.
you can't do something like that in Hogwarts Legacy. I kind of wonder if Fable will have something like that where it's like, we got some really good fake scans. Here you go. You can build off of that, but we're not going to make something completely
I would
robust.
imagine it have. I would imagine it in my head. I would think it would if they're doing create a character. But to everyone's point, I mean, my character in Starfield's going to be as sexy as I can make it. Like, I'm going to make sure all the sliders are maxed where they need to be, if they have them. Don't know. I didn't see them personally in the presentation, but you know, hopefully, you know, relevant sliders are there. But you know,
So some of your sliders are going to be a little more left and right, huh, Singer?
oh, they're going to be full right. I'm assuming, you know, they're going to be as far right as possible.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
If not,
I might
yeah,
have a female. I might have a female character in Starfield.
I definitely am playing as a chick. If I can, I would rather play as a hot chick, if anything. But I will play as a hot guy. So, and I, like I said,
Yeah.
I'll play as a. Oh, see you later, Rock. Thanks so much for coming through, bro. Appreciate you.
All right. Hey, thanks for the invite. Hey, you guys
Thanks,
have a great
Rock.
weekend. All right.
See
Take
you
care.
later,
brother.
Rock.
See
You too,
later.
brother. Happy Father's Day too.
Oh,
Father's
okay.
Day,
Yeah.
yeah.
Happy Father's
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
absolutely.
Yes, happy Father's Day to
absolutely.
all the fathers, especially all the fathers on the panel, all the fathers in the chat, everyone who listens later. Appreciate you guys so much. You do so much for your families and such. So shout out to y'all, man. But okay, so let's do. Okay, thank you. You can stop sharing, Zinger.
Okay.
All right, let's check out these channel member topics. Okay, so
Oh my God, slow mo.
What?
It's always something if you're stranded somewhere or something that's happening. What would you do?
These are thought-provoking questions.
They definitely are.
is my mic still on?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Okay. Is it like my good mic? You guys tell?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right. So shout out to Brandon saying, "Hey, Luca and panel. I love the Xbox showcase and the future diversity in games. We saw 4 RPGs cooking. I noticed Xbox fans were disappointed that Halo and Gears were not at the showcase. How do you feel about the future roadmap for Xbox? I was shocked Fable looked as good as it did. I can't wait to see more gameplay from the games that were shown. Starfield is the truth." I think the roadmap for Xbox looks good. I hope that they actually follow through and they continue to show off these titles. They have so many titles and so many studios that they're working on, and a lot of people want to see what they're cooking. There's a lot of things that we didn't see, at the showcase that still have. Like, I remember a singer said this forever ago, where he said, it's going to get to a point where Xbox has too much, and they're not there yet, but I think they can get there. So I'm not gonna say I'm hopeful, but I can definitely see some good stuff coming through.
Well, I am hopeful because first thing I'm hopeful is because Halo and Gears didn't need to be there because they've been living off of Halo and Gears for the entire lifespan of Xbox, it seems, especially Halo. So the fact that we were able to get a showcase that had nothing to do with any of those titles was pretty incredible. And for people to still love it as much as they did, it shows that they're actually growing, mostly due to the fact that they just have an abundance of studios and it's about that time for these games to start releasing. So I'm very encouraged in what the future is for Xbox. The job isn't done. They still have to release these games, and people still have to get to the point where they're looking at Xbox like, oh, this is incredible. And and just in your statement alone says it the most. You were shocked that Fable looked as good as it did. That's partly the problem. We need to get to the point where Microsoft puts games out or Xbox puts games out and people are like, this is the norm. We're not shocked that they have really good showcases or really good things for people to play, because that's kind of been like the bugaboo for them over the course of the last generation. So I'm hopeful that they'll get there. They just got to finish the job at this point now.
All
The
right.
The roadmap
Traumatizing.
is looking sexy sweet. Like I got a game for every year. It looks like I'll have an RPG every single year for the next like 4 years. So 5 years if we include Elder Scrolls 6. So I'm eating and I'm incredibly happy. Make sure they come out. GG.
Yeah, I think right now it's all about just delivering on the quality of the games. They did what people wanted, which was show us what you're working with. And I think a significant number of people are satisfied with that aspect of seeing what the roadmap is, being excited for the kind of games that are on the way. But now once upon a time, people were somewhat excited for Redfall as well. And it's about delivering on the other side of it, which is actually living up to the expectations that people have for these games and delivering on that level of quality that they are claiming that they do have. So that's the aspect of things I want to see, because I definitely want to play the games and have fun with them.
Yeah. All right, bet. Okay, so let's see here. Thank you, Ryan. John the Don says, is there a franchise that you used to love that then lost interest in, then got back into with recent installments? If so, what was it that brought you back? Okay, so I'm not playing Destiny right now, but I'll use Destiny as an example, where I played it at launch and I played up until Curse of Osiris. I beat that shit. And then it was so bad, I was like, no, I left it. And then Warmind came out, didn't play Warmind. Then Forsaken came out, and then I was on Destiny from Forsaken to Witch Queen. But I haven't played Lightfall or anything. I don't know if I'm going back. So, but that's the only one I can think of, because if I love a franchise, I don't normally lose interest in franchises I love like that. So
yeah, I can't think of one because I don't really lose interest in the franchises that I really care for. I keep playing them, and I can't really think of anything that I lost interest in and just went back to it, and it reinvigorated my excitement for it. So I can't.
I can't think of anything. I was thinking Final Fantasy, but I played all the 13s, and then the next mainline one was 15, and I played that. So I didn't take a break from Final Fantasy. So yeah, no, none for me.
what about go ahead, Nautical though.
I mean, clean sweep. I feel the same way. There's games that I fell off of that I want to get back into, but the games that would be take such a level of commitment to get back in. I want to get back into Warframe because I love that game, but I don't want to go through all.
You got a lot to catch up on.
Exactly. When
you
I
got
stopped,
a dozen expansions to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I stopped playing that game, it was right before they went into their new model, and it was
lucky for you, they never vaulted any content.
Yeah, plus they never vaulted it.
Oh, hey Taz.
What's up, Taz?
So yeah, it's kind of hard to pick that one. Maybe it will end up being, because even Diablo, I didn't really disappear from it. I still played 3 until 4 came out. So I really don't drop stuff.
How about I think he's okay. I'm assuming he's talking about video games. What about movies franchises?
That's a whole nother story right there.
Aliens. The Aliens movie. So after Aliens 3, I couldn't. I hated. I was so mad at Aliens 3. I didn't want to watch any of them. And they're not that great after Aliens 3. Now that I think about it, but Alien, the one that Josh Whedon directed, was actually pretty good. I went back and watched from Alien, the first one, from like I think late 70s, early 80s, to the iconic Aliens movie, which is like the blueprint for sci-fi action movie. And you know, they still suck after that, but still
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Oh
Bro.
Lord. Okay. I have for movies. I have one. After Terminator Salvation, I was like, I'm never watching another Terminator film. But I actually like. I know I'm in the minority, but I actually kind of like Dark Fate. I thought it was cute. Like I mean, that's not the right word for it, but I like Dark Fate. I liked what they were doing with Dark Fate. Like, you
I
know,
haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
I kind of fell out of I fell out of interest in the Terminator series, and I have not got it back yet. So
yeah, which is like so fair. But yeah, so yeah, definitely Terminator, because after Salvation, I was like, oh man. But I like Dark Fate. I know I'm in the minority. I know, guys. I know.
For me, it'd be an anime series franchise, and it'd be the Fate series, because
that's fair. Yeah,
because I loved Stay Night, and then Unlimited Budget Works came in, and Unlimited Budget Works smashed out of the park. Then you had the 3 films. All that was great. But then I dropped off, I think it was no, it wasn't Prisma, it was Grand Order. No, it was Khalid, Liner, Prisma, Ilya. And then that's ruined it for me. And then I came back with Grand Order. And yeah, so Fate franchise. What brought me back was they actually made it interesting. So, yeah.
So, man, now that I think about it, the Predator franchise, the first 2 were so good.
you know what?
Then Alien versus Predator happened.
Oh no! I like Alien versus Predator.
Listen, wait.
Predator,
the first one.
Hold on.
Does not stand up.
No, not
the
not
test
to
of time.
not
Predator
the test of time.
is really bad. It's a bad movie.
It is compared, but it was still at that time it was great. But the first 2 Predator movies were great. I loved them. Alien versus Predator happened. The first one was good. I liked it. Then they did the second one, and I was like, this is trash. Mostly due to the fact that they just treated the Predators like BS, and I couldn't stand it.
Which one has Annihilation in there being like knighted as a predator?
Knighted as a predator, exactly.
Okay,
that was the first one.
That was absolutely awful.
Yeah, that was the only downside.
I really like that movie.
I like the movie, but that's the one thing that threw me off when he was like, I take this bone and put it on your face and put the mark of a warrior.
That was ridiculous. Yo, that was so ridiculous.
So I was like, okay, it did. Then the games came out, and the games just made it even worse. I was like, this is even worse. And then all of a sudden, we got the 2 Predator movies out. We got the Predators with Josh Brolin and everything on the planets and stuff. And I thought that was really, really cool. I really liked that.
More of an homage to the first Predator
to movie. The very first one.
It stole every story beat, like plot by plot, like in order.
In order, yeah, literally
the movie, but the one that came out on
the Hulu, one that they did on the direct to I forget what did it come on?
It was a Native American girl. She was the that was great. That was great.
Yeah, Prey. It was called Prey. It was
that was amazing.
Good.
I gotta watch that. I keep hearing it's good.
You haven't seen? Oh,
you haven't seen it? Oh man, it's very graphic. It is so good.
Yeah, I along with Hereditary, I gotta add it to the list. Yeah, I also I would say the Godzilla movies. I mean, there's been so fucking many. But the recent ones, the monster fights were good. That human element was pretty bad, but the monster fights were good with the recent ones. Okay, go ahead, Nautical.
Excuse me.
No, that's mostly it. I just think after seeing all that, and I agree with especially the Godzilla one. That was something else, but Predator's good for me.
Yo, read Gregor's comment because that's exactly how I felt about that part in Aliens versus
Gregor says,
Predators.
"Remember the acid blood that burned through layers of spaceships? Let me draw this symbol on your face with it." Oh man. Listen, I was 11 when the movie came out, so that's like, it has a special place in my heart. It's one of those you enjoy it a lot more when you're a kid versus when you're an adult, just like that goddamn Queen of the Damned movie, which is awful.
That movie does stink.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Great soundtrack.
Great
Terrible
soundtrack
movie.
stands up to this day. So shout out to Slow-Mo saying, if you were stranded on a deserted island with just one person, and that one person was one of your friends, who would you choose, and would you find a way off the island? Stone. And yes.
One. So it has to be. So not family. It has to be. Well, he said a friend, right? So not family.
Yeah, gotta be a friend.
Slow-Mo.
Would you make it off the island?
No.
No, definitely not. The way y'all be arguing over dumb shit. Nah.
If he said yes, I'll be like, no, we ain't
no, we're not gonna make it off this island.
The thing is, Slow-Mo needs to be able to use his knees and ankles.
Wow.
Exactly. Y'all are not getting off the island. What about you, Slow?
I came up with the question. I can't think of any. I've been thinking about like who to choose this for like ever since I wrote that like a day ago, and I still can't figure out somebody. All right, I would say I don't know this person, but my friend Wesley, because he's like a genius. And he would probably come up with he would probably know how to like put a raft together made out of like sticks and bamboo or something, and just to float off the island. But I wouldn't be much help, but besides actually doing the grunt work and putting it together. But I think he would figure a way to get us off.
I will say, if I want to make it off the island, I'm going to pick, and I'm not picking these people because apparently people know who they are in the community. I would pick Taz because if I want to make it off the island, I'm picking Taz because me and Taz will be talking so much junk about why the reason we're on the island is going to motivate us to get the hell off of it.
Get away from each other.
Taz is like a go-getter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he is.
I love Taz.
For me, shout out to Blue Moon FC in the chat. Seems like a startup dude. We'd definitely get off that island. So I'd take Blue Moon because he seems reasonable, and we'll be able to reason it out and get off that island. I have faith.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If we got trapped on a stranded island, I'm definitely not making it. Like, let's be clear. Let's put that out there.
Doing all the work.
I mean, of course I would help her, but I'm just saying, like, if I was on I wouldn't make it. First of all, me and my brother had a conversation about this. He was like, if the apocalypse starts tomorrow, how do you think you would do? I'm like, I would definitely ask one of you to kill me immediately. Like, I'm not built for that kind of like lifestyle. I'm very delicate. I got delicate sensibilities. I'd be like, no, go ahead and kill me now, So I wouldn't I'm not gonna survive an apocalyptic setting. So
I'll survive the apocalypse.
Single me before I got married with children, I'm surviving an apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
But now married father, me trying to protect my kids, like that's almost like a nightmare. Like, you got young children you're trying to keep safe from, like, depending on what kind of apocalypse it is, right? You're like zombies, what are we talking, right? But if it's like whatever it is, like you're more than likely to end up getting killed trying to save your defenseless family than just getting caught off guard.
I'm so grateful I'm single because I'm definitely surviving. Like, I'm gonna be booting people out of the way and be like, yo, I'm getting up this ladder, fuck all y'all, and it's gonna be survival of the fittest. So
yeah, no, I'm definitely not fucking making it.
Plus, I know how to go out camping, live in the woods, so I don't mind going out.
No, I hear you. Okay, so ooh, I hate the woods. But anyway, shout out to Phil saying, with talks of ugly female characters, ugly Bethesda characters, Bugthesda that is, and people being ugly to each other over these showcases. You spitting, my boy. Let's talk about some beautiful women in video games, or men if you want, because we don't discriminate. 3 for me that are rarely in the conversation. Sophidia from Soul Calibur.
Okay.
Ashelia from Final Fantasy. Ooh, which Final Fantasy is that?
12.
And Misty. I mean, I don't know. he trailed off. I don't know.
He fell asleep.
I mean, I go ahead. Beautiful female characters: Shion, Miranda, and oh, I had another one. I just had another one. I can't remember though. But Shion and Miranda for sure. Oh, Leliana. Shion, Miranda, and Leliana. So Leliana from Dragon Age, Shion from Tales of Arise, and then Miranda from Mass Effect. And then I could also throw in Isabella. Hmm, yeah, those are the ones I can think of. What about you guys? Trails of Cold Steel. Okay.
All right. Miss Lawson is always at the top of this list.
Miss Lawson.
Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. I love
Aerith is beautiful. Yeah.
Love Aerith. And I don't know when it started, but ever since when I went back and played The Witcher 3 again, I just love Yennefer.
That's right. Yennefer and Triss.
Ooh, I love
Mind
Yennefer.
you, Yennefer doesn't actually look like that. She uses magic.
Yeah, but that's some strong magic.
That's facts. That's facts.
Let's see. I say Bastila Shan from Knights of the Old Republic. Isabella from Dragon Age 2. You gotta do 3.
You can do however many you want, buddy.
Oof.
Oh my God! Wait, Singer. Let's cap it at 5.
Yeah, because Singer probably gonna be going to, and be like 11 o'clock. And oh yes, no, Tifa from Final Fantasy VII remake.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm only allowed 5. Okay, so we will go with Widowmaker from Overwatch. We will go with.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. There's so many good choices.
Dude,
okay.
Just choose 4 more, man.
Okay.
Just choose 4 more.
Okay. I'll take Anna Tekken.
Okay.
I would take. Okay, I will take Helena from Dead or Alive. Jill Valentine.
Yeah, Jill works.
Yeah.
Lightning.
One more. Said Lightning.
Lightning?
Really? You Lightning? I mean, I would take Lightning because I love Lightning.
Yeah, I take
most
Lightning.
People don't really like name.
Nah,
I would never really hear Lightning come in that conversation.
Because people hate the game, so no one talks about her.
Exactly.
I love Lightning Farron. That's my girl.
Like Lightning is just beautiful. Like she is peak woman. That is peak woman right there. And she's
both
powerful.
her and Sarah are beautiful.
We got a lot of Sarah Bond love in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to Sarah Bond, man. All right, so okay, let's see. Thanks for the question, Phil. NVDub says wants to talk about Ja Morant's 25-game suspension. So that's a dude with the gun, right? Longer. Okay, so
yeah, he's an NBA basketball player who has consistently pretended like he was some kind of gangster or a thug or whatever, kept flashing guns on social media. Whenever there's a camera, he has to pull his gun out and flash it and throwing up gang signs when he's not a part of any gang. And yeah, he got suspended during the playoffs, and then they waited to the end of it to say that he's going to get suspended an additional 25 games next year. He claims that he's learned his lesson, but like,
isn't this like the second time or something?
This is the second time. Yeah, they should have suspended him for like half the season, and then he would have lost half the money that he would have made during that time period. He's also losing all of his endorsements because no one wants to endorse a dude that's acting like that. So
he ain't lost Nike yet. But
and then Ja Morant filmed himself holding a toy gun on May.
That wasn't no toy gun.
On May 14th, after the second firearm incident, and that for to show his family that it wasn't a real gun. Yeah, I've seen some people.
Wasn't no toy gun. Stop it.
there were some people who were like, how dare they suspend him, a black man,
What?
for what's wrong with him? I'm like, what? What are you saying? Or shut up. Shut up. At the end of the day, if they have fucking rules of conduct, I mean, sorry, that's the NFL. My bad. But because I was going to make a
No,
comment.
it's the same thing.
I was going to
NBA.
make a comment that if he was beating women, he'd probably get off lighter. But that's the NFL.
Man.
So my bad. Anyway,
oh man, no.
Okay. Anyway, so it's like there's like rules of conduct, and he deliberately broke them for what? Some attention on fucking social media? Like that's loser behavior, especially when you have that much money on the line. You know,
Yeah,
I just think it's dumb.
And people are like X-Hawk in the chat. He has the right to bear arms. At no point does this infringe upon his Second Amendment right to own a gun. What they're saying, like owning a gun to protect yourself, has nothing to do with you flashing the gun on social media every time your boy pulls out his camera and starts doing a video on Instagram.
Like there's no correlation there.
I got
zero correlation with that.
I got something even more for you though. He has the right to bear arms, absolutely. But let me ask you this: why, when his friend took that camera out and pointed it at John Morant and he saw that gun in his hand, he took the camera away instantly? If it wasn't a big deal, he would have just let them sit there on screen, just keep on doing it. But they know that they weren't supposed to do that because
that was the second time. That was the
second time.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why my man was like, they was in the car having fun, and all of a sudden he flashes John Morant in the seat, doing his little dance and stuff, and he sees the gun and he takes the camera away.
I'm kicking my boy out the car. I'm like, get out of my car.
Look, why?
Get out of my car.
Your rich idiot friend keeps doing this. It keeps fumbling.
Why
his
put
own
him in
bag.
that situation?
Why are you pulling the camera out anyway? Like, I know they're young and dumb, but like
he only did it once.
He did it twice. He did it twice.
Saying that the second time was him pulling the camera out and then him doing it that second time, right? So it's not like his friend was like, okay, he might have learned his lesson after that first time. It's not like he's going to pull out a gun a second time, You get what I'm saying?
So you basically say his friend thought better of him. That he didn't think he was this stupid.
Yeah, but is this one of those same friends that was in the car when they were leaving the Indiana Pacers game when and the Pacers were talking about how red dots were coming from John Morant's car, trained on them while they were driving away?
What you're even saying right now? I don't know anything about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But this is all the stuff that he. First of all, the man got what did Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp call it? Drive-through service at the clinic when he got the first 8-day suspension, and he was supposed to go get help, and he was back literally in 2 days.
Yeah.
What kind of help was he supposed to get in 1 to 2 days? Like, this 25-day suspension is a joke. I mean, but I will say this though, he ain't got no more chances after this. If he messes up again, we talking about a year, maybe even longer, because honestly, this is kind of worse than the whole brawl thing that happened at the Palace and stuff. They went into the stands, but he could have hurt himself. Anything could have happened. And that's the thing that they don't want people to think can happen, by just doing stupid stuff like this.
Yeah, okay. And shout out to Gregors, who said the dancing with guns happened after he threatened a 16-year-old, after him and his friends pointed a laser at the Pacers bus, after threatening a mall store for not giving his mom special treatment. It sounds like he needs some kind of like therapy or something. Like
he's
sounds like
he's an idiot.
Help,
He's absolutely going to get in trouble again. Because this is his behavior. This is a part of his personality. He's not just going to change. Like, he already knew that his behavior before was threatening his chances of retaining this massive contract. He's got like a $250 million contract, with the Memphis Grizzlies. He already knows he's threatening that when he did all these other things. You think now a 25 game suspension that he now, I realize that literally everything I do every single day has been a mistake when I'm not on the court. I think he's too young to understand that he needs to completely change his environment, the people he hangs out with, the things that he does, and when you have nothing but yes men all around you who act like everything you do and say is the most genius thing ever because you are the piggy bank, it's really difficult to be able to make those changes. And I don't think you will.
Yeah, I just think yeah, I think he needs help, honestly speaking. A lot of that behavior is super spooky, just based on what I've heard. Like it's weird. It's weirdo behavior, dude. It's like it's just not normal. It's like that's not something that normal people do, you know? So
Yeah.
but I appreciate your guys' insight on this because you know damn well I don't know anything about sports. But shout out to Derek saying Dirk, my Jesus Christ, Dirk McGurk saying it's so much salt going around I could drown in it. Please talk about the salt. We need the Lashin God's reaction to the salt. So the salt could be referring to many things. Could be talking about the Final Fantasy stuff. Could be talking about the Starfield stuff, which we discussed. We discussed both of those topics. Could be talking about the characters looking spooky, looking ugly. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that. I really think it might be referring to the 30 frames per second situation and how people were tripping. I will say this. So Alex, oh no, it's Alex, did a video on talking about people like damage controlling for the Starfield stuff, and he mentioned Destin, I think.
He sure did.
What did he say about Destin in the video?
Oh man, it was basically just how, you know, Dustin was basically just trying to defend the fact about how big the game was and how Todd Howard, how his vision of the game should be respected and everything. And I'm sitting, and he's sitting there said he was sitting there saying, wait a minute, what about my decision to buy a $500 system that was promised to be eat monsters for breakfast and have better frame rates than never seen before? You know, so that's kind of just the hyperbole that a lot of these people are basically fighting from these people. And then he put up a tweet basically just combating that when it came to everything that Dustin, well, not him, Dustin put up a tweet responding to the whole situation about what was going on with Todd Howard's statements and everything about 40 frames per second versus 30 or 60 frames per second versus 30. It was a good video. You should check it out. I laughed the whole time.
Okay, yeah, and then I watched Destin's video about Alex. I only watched about 20 minutes of it because it was 40 minutes, and I
didn't even know he made a video about
I got
Alex.
bored.
Did he for real?
No, he did, because he went on Twitter like, "Oh, I owned you, Alex," and I was just like, "Okay." So I went to go watch the video. I personally don't think he owned him, but you know, perhaps he was just he was in a silly, goofy mood. You know what I'm saying? So
Whatever.
You know, I personally, again, like, first of all, Destin's not even going to be playing Starfield on Xbox. He's going to be playing on his PC. Like, it's so weird to see him even taking part in this conversation. Because, like, I know he plays on PC because I follow him. I don't follow him on Twitter, but I follow him from the Destiny content he did. Remember Nautical? Like, when he used to do the Destiny content?
Yeah.
So it's just weird because I'm like, I know you play on PC. Like, it's weird seeing him take the Xbox route when it comes to certain things, you know.
Could make it as a Destiny content creator, I guess.
No, I don't think it's even that. They stopped doing the show for some reason.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that I always found it weird that he just pivoted straight to pretty much Xbox only for the most part.
I don't know. I think his channel's doing pretty good, man.
Kind of an opportunist.
He saw those views going up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he found the lane and he jumped on it.
The same could probably be said. The same could probably be said about Mr. Matty Plays, because I followed him from the Fallout content he put out, and then he pivoted to Xbox. So maybe there's just like money to be made in the Xbox as the space as being an Xbox content creator. Maybe. I know that there is. Not with me, but in general. Corey defended Starfield from Corey who? Corey who? He can't be as controversial on PC. Okay. Destin's whole channel is Xbox based, but he plays on PC. Okay. Yeah, I know Alex has played games in 30. He plays on the Switch. He did not own him. You didn't miss it, Miss Luca. I wanted to turn off myself. Yeah, I watched about 20 minutes. I just based on like that 20 minutes I watched. I know. Based on that 20 minutes I watched, I was like, he didn't own him at all. Like, what is he talking? Maybe, like I said, maybe he's just in a silly, goofy mood and just being a silly little goose. You know what I'm saying? Just having fun with it. So I don't know. But Cory Barlog defended Starfield. Oh, I mean, I don't really feel anything about that. Good for. I mean, what do you guys feel about it? About Cory defending Starfield's frame rate?
What did he say about Starfield?
I don't know. What did he say about Starfield, guys?
I'm about to see right now.
Yeah.
I'm about to see right now. I can't remember exactly what his tweet was. No dead air.
Yep. No dead air.
Yeah, I mean, if he defended Starfield, I mean, I've seen multiple developers out here actually defend Starfield. So it's there was another Sony Santa Monica developer that defended Fable, I think, actually. So I mean, that's not uncommon for developers, because, like, look, you know, maybe you guys don't realize it or not, but developers don't really have like this kind of animosity towards a rival platform that you guys do. They don't care like you guys do, because very well that rival, one of those studios for a rival platform might be a future employer. So they try to be as professional as possible, and that makes a lot of sense to me. So
I mean, it makes sense. Like, contrary to popular belief, console wars does not exist to these people. Like,
right, it's just their job for most of them.
Yeah. I mean, there are exceptions, of course. There's always exceptions, but for the most part, like the heads and stuff, they just like, oh yeah, congratulations. Like, Sony congratulates Microsoft when they release a game. Phil congratulates Sony when they release a game. It's whatever. Like, Doug Bowser appears from nowhere and goes, "Hey, congratulations!" I'm like, I mean, so he probably came out and defended it because he's like, yeah, you know, it's their creative vision. He probably has his own opinions, being who he is, about why Starfield's the way it is.
Well, well, like I said, no shade or hate to Alex or Destin. I just think, like I said, Destin's tweet about it being a buzzword, I thought that was weird. But again, I watched 20 minutes of his video, and he did mention, he was like, oh, I probably should have used like a different word. It's not like a buzzword, you know. Like, he explained himself. It's just one of those things where it's like,
no, he did exactly what he meant to do, because he knew it's going to get maximum impact on the day that he did it. Then he wants to come back and say that, oh, I should have used other words. Come on, now, you knew exactly what you're doing because you got the effect that you wanted.
Yeah, you got to be really mindful about like how you phrase things, because even if you're very clear about what you're fucking saying, these people will misinterpret your shit, dude. They will misunderstand. They don't know how to read. They don't know how to comprehend shit. But then sometimes, again, if you're saying certain things, it's just like, that doesn't make any sense, buddy. Like, you can definitely tell the difference between 30 and 60. Like, it's not even a question, you know?
yeah, so far I'm looking at his account and I don't see him defending Starfield. I do see that he agreed with a comment that Matt Booty said about now big games taking half a decade, and he said he agrees with that, but I don't see him saying anything specifically about Starfield.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. All I could find was him agreeing with what Matt Booty said.
Yeah. It's Greenberg's job to be about the console war. Like, he's in marketing, so at least they get paid.
Black Dragon says because Dreamcast guy deleted his tweet, so Corey's tweet is gone too. Okay, all right, so then it's okay.
Right, yeah. Man, they have been on Dreamcast guy's ass. They have been on his ass. And shout out to him. Like, I'm cool with him too. But they've been on his ass because he's been putting that misinfor fucking mation out, especially about the Insomniac thing, talking about, are there going to be microtransactions? And then like fucking the dude from Insomniac had to be like, no, that's for the digital deluxe edition. Like, come on now, like, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah,
I still remember, and look, I have no animosity against Dreamcast guy or anything, but I still remember when he tweeted out that he thought that this is years ago, that he thought the new Xbox and PlayStation would be running on NVIDIA architecture, and I was like, bruh, like, who told you that? It's clearly AMD. It's not going to be NVIDIA. It's whoever told them that, like, he did not vet that person who claims to be an insider at all.
It explains why he walked back his tweet when he said, when he was complaining about Starfield, and then he walked it back and said, I had a few developers.
Yeah, I actually saw some of the developers come through and explain it, you know?
And Corey must have been one of them, explaining to him, this is probably the reason why Starfield is the way it is, and that's just the way it is. And that's perfectly fine because they know what they're talking about, so I'm willing to go along with it. Sure.
Yeah, you got to be like, again, you got to be really careful with how you phrase things if you're in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? But so shout out to like Dreamcast Guy, Destin, and Alex. No hate or animosity towards them at all. Like, again, I'm cool with Alex and Dreamcast Guy. You know, so all right. Anyway, we just move on from fucking that. All right, let's get out of here. Great show, guys. Slow-mo.
Yo, yeah, absolutely great show. Have fun as usual. You guys have a great weekend to play your games.
All right, Singer.
Great show, great panel, and you can find me everywhere doing what I do best, which is gaming.
Okay. Okay.
I'm dying in the heat, so if I'm not here next week,
oh Lord,
because the weather forecast has now the heat's increasing again next week. So, yeah, if I'm not here next week, it's because I'm dead somewhere. Okay, cool.
Hopefully that's not the case, bud. All right. Late for podcastical.
Podcastical. Listen, first of all, Father's Day. Have a good one for all the dads out there.
Yes, happy Father's Day to my boys in the chat and my boys on the panel.
It's going to be a great one. And then slow-mo. See this here? See this beauty? This amazingness? This great.
Oh my god.
This thing. This blanket.
What is it? You know, finally he's described what it is that he spent money on. I don't even think
I didn't have to spend money on this. This is something I just took because
you stole it.
I ain't had to steal it. It was marketing that we don't use anymore. so it's great.
Anyway, and shout out to this hoodie I got. It says trust issues. I actually, Bari has a t-shirt like this, and I was like, oh, this is fire. So my brother bought this for me for my birthday. It took like 2 months for this goddamn hoodie to show up, though. So just, yeah, I know. It was pretty crazy. So
delivered it by horse and carriage?
I guess so. Delivered it by fucking
thing came
pigeon,
by
man.
carrier pigeon.
Like, no, facts. So, yeah.
Oh, shout out to Gregor. Forte bought that blanket with Deli's money. Mm-hmm.
With Deli's money. Speaking of which, DPS podcast, amazing yesterday. Check it out. The Mama Luca was on there. Really appreciate you coming through.
Yes, I showed up.
She showed up
on time when you asked me to.
And guess what? She also dipped out
at the end of the show.
At the very end of the show, was like, "I'm out.
Okay.
I'll see y'all later."
I was like, "I got to go to bed." Like, I was already faded.
Did you really go to bed?
She didn't come in an hour and a half late.
Oh my god! We appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming through.
All right,
also, speaking of Deli, I owe him a copy of Avowed because I lost it.
Yes, he told us about that.
They were speaking. They were besmirching your name, Singer. They were like, Singer's not going to remember. You know, he's not going to remember.
Of course,
I
was going to remember.
Like,
I liked the tweet as soon as Deli put it out. Of course,
exactly.
I knew. Soon as I saw 2024 on the trailer, I died inside.
Don't pull a Ja Morant. You know, I don't know if the algorithm can tell between real guns and fake ones. Nautical. Go ahead and put that away. Go ahead and put that last word away, man.
What did he say? What is that? That's what he was doing in that video.
Okay, so Forte, did you send Deli his game?
Yeah. Sir, post offices are closed today.
Can y'all discuss this boring topic another time, please?
Yes, last time.
If you could discuss this boring
They're closed today, Saturday.
Anyway, I'll catch y'all later for another episode. Peace. Be good, guys. Be safe. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You know, it doesn't get discussed as often as Mother's Day or highlighted as often as Mother's Day, I've noticed, but being a father is such an important, it's so important, you know, it's so important that kids have their fathers in their lives, good fathers in their lives as positive influences, you know what I'm saying? Like having a strong male figure is just so important to the development of a child, whether you're a woman or a man, you know? Like my dad wasn't in my life. He's in my life now, but he wasn't in my life growing up. But I had my grandfather, and my grandfather was like that strong male figure who like showed me how like a woman should be treated. Like, you know, don't let men talk to you this way or be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But he also like taught me not to hate men, like some people seem to do, you know? So, you know, it's fatherhood is just so important, you know? So, and I know I have a lot of fathers in my chat, so I got nothing but love and respect for you guys, and, you know, acknowledge what you guys do. And of course, Slow-Mo and Nautical are both fathers. So, and Maslin as well, all day, who's, you know, they're not on the show as often, but, you know, Porter Rock too. So, you know, shout out to all my dads, man.
A word of advice for everyone for tomorrow: just ignore the bitter mothers who.
Oh no, here we go.
I'm a father, and I'm a father because I'm a single mother. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. Like, don't go into the back and forth. That's what they want.
I will.
And just ignore it and just enjoy your day. That's what I do.
I will say that flowers don't get more expensive on Father's Day. I will also say restaurants aren't as packed as they are on Mother's Day as Father's Day. So
yeah,
there's still a little bit of catching up for us dads when it comes to moms.
Yeah, no, for real though, for real. So you know,
man,
shout out to
just give me my Best Buy gift card and let me be.
$50 off my Rogue Ally.
All right, peace.
Peace.